Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are once again on Sunday the 17th of June 2018 for another action-packed episode, and we're going to get kick-started this week with a release slash update from the guys over at Aerosoft. So, some months ago, we brought to you the fact that Aerosoft had released their long-awaited DC-8, which is, in my opinion, I love classic airplanes. Classic jetliners is one of the few things about jetliners I actually enjoy. I like the classic ones because I like the old style of doing things. You know, pressing buttons is boring. Anyway, moving on. We brought to you the fact that they released this for Prepared V4 as a Prepared V4 exclusive back in April. Now, Aerosoft did state that they would be bringing it to other platforms, but there was no definitive date given. And that date has now arrived. So we did finally have the release of the update of the DC-8 to version 1.03, which does also include a few various bug fixes. So for prepared users, you've got a slew of bug fixes, including engine starter code updates, starter code rewrites, comm frequency updates, issues with the comm systems, autopilot system bugs has now been fixed, transponder modes has been changed as well, and a few other things going on as well. Now, but for the 32-bit user family, this does now add in compatibility with FSX and FSX Steam Edition. What I was very curious about was the fact that there is no official support for Prepared V2 or 3. Now, I'm kind of assuming that if it's, I think it's a fairly safe assumption that if it's running, if it's FSX Steam Edition compatible, then it should be compatible with Prepared V2 and 3. But, officially, but buyer beware, it's because officially it is not supported. Aerosoft, if Matthias, if you're watching, can you explain to me, maybe in the comments below, why you're supporting one 32-bit or two 32-bit simulators, but not the other three? Just throwing it out there. Anyway, but yes, so, but if you're an FSX user, or if you do want to roll the dice and see if it does work on Prepared V3, you can give it a shot. It is coming in at the same price. Now, which actually, for me, I do have to congratulate Aerosoft because this is a rarity for them. And a rarity actually for a lot of aircraft developers as a whole at the moment, where they're actually releasing a single package is actually multi-sim compatible now, which is I'm really, really impressed to see. And coming in, actually, the price is actually not that bad for what you get. It's $43 US available from the Aerosoft store or your regional equivalent. And as I said, now it's fully compatible with Prepared V4, F6, and F6 Steam Edition. So, if any of my viewers has got it and the update and tried to install it in Prepared V3, please let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you. But otherwise, folks, if you are wanting to invest in this one or to take it into F6, guys, you can pick this one up now as available, as I said, from the Aerosoft store for $43 US or original equivalent, or your favorite flight sim retailer available now. In other ESP platform release news, the guys over at FSDG have been busy again. Now, they've brought out their latest in their light series of sceneries. So one of the things that we talk about a lot, I talk about a lot when I review or sort of let you guys know about scenery releases, is we talk about not just the airport, but we then talk about the surrounding area. Now, FSDG with their light series are coming in, explicitly going, this is just the airport. This is all you're getting. You are not getting the surrounding area. You are only getting the airport. You're getting a very highly detailed rendition of the airport. So you're getting a very custom 3D models of the buildings. You're getting accurate runway and taxiway layouts. This version also includes, because it is for V4, it includes support for Prepared V4, so it does include full dynamic lighting as well and volumetric lighting. Full compatibility with SODE jetways, and compatible with all the major scenery add-ons as well. And this is for Dakar Airport, so Blaise Djani International Airport in Dakar in Senegal. Now, what makes this cool, and actually why I'm really actually kind of excited about this, is that not only are they upfront and saying this is just the airport, they've really come to the party when it comes to the price point. This thing's coming in less than $10. and from the pictures I'm looking at, looks absolutely amazing for that kind of price tag. So I'm really impressed. So as I said, FSG have been on quite the roll with scenery releases and releases in general lately. So this is definitely a feather in their cap. And as I said, the one install is fully compatible across the range of platforms, including FSX, FSX Steam Edition, Prepared V3 and 4. So great work, guys at FSDG. Great to see you doing some quality stuff again. I'm continuing to put out some quality content and also putting it out at a very affordable price as well, which is great to see. So if you are wanting to add a Dakar International Airport to your list of destinations, then you can pick this one up, as I said, from the FSDG store or from your favourite flight sim retailer, available now. In other scenery releases for the ESP platforms this week, we saw one from the guys over at the Charity Scenery Project. Now, for those who may not have heard of this project started a little while ago, and I heard about it through, I was actually asked to actually beta test the scenery, and I don't get to beta test much anymore, but this is a pretty cool project, and I wanted to get in on it and help them out, and I was really impressed by what I saw, and basically what it is that the Charity Scenery Project is just that, you're buying scenery, and all the proceeds, everything you pay, and you can add on extra donations as well, goes directly to charity. So in this particular case, the charity is actually for the London Air Ambulance charity. So it actually all proceeds will actually go to support London's Air Ambulance and the life-saving work that they do. Now, for long-time viewers of my channel, you will know that I have a very personal connection with Aero Medivac services, so it's a very important thing for me. So I think this is anything sort of version of this, any sort of idea of supporting stuff like this is really impressive. So I'm great to see, and really happy to say to support you guys. But as I said, the first scenery they brought out a few months ago was the Vanguard helipad, which is which is one of the it's a route through to central London. It's situated on the Isle of Dogs, and is one of the only sort of helicopter services available sort of east of central London. And provides a lot of medevac services for things like the XL Centre, the O2 Arena at Olympic Park as well. So it's a helipad that sort of just does commercial operations, but does also get frequented by the air ambulance. The latest release that's actually just come out this week is actually for the Royal London Hospital. So this is the actual, you get a full rendition of the Royal London Hospital actually in Whitechapel, complete with the helipad on the top. You also get custom night lighting for the hospital and for the helipad, and you also get like sort of like a mini sort of scenario set up on the helipad of a medevac crew actually waiting to receive your patient from your helicopter. So really impressive. Now, as I said, 100% of all the proceeds and all the purchase price, everything you pay goes directly to this charity. And the price, it's £1, which is less than $1.50. So for literally less than a cup of coffee, you can actually get some really awesome scenery, and you can actually donate, and all the proceeds go to charity. Now, at the moment, this is all owned. Both of these sceneries are only for Prepared V4. However, I do know for a fact that it is being worked on for the rest of the ESP platform, and also for X-Plane. So it will be coming very soon to see that. But as I said, at the moment, just for V4. But even if you just wanted to sort of get in, if you're not sure if you're going to get V4 or not, but it's a great way to actually sort of give back for us as a community, and we are a strong community that do support great causes. So if you do want to get behind them, you can also just simply donate directly to the charity, directly from the website. So head over to charityscenery.co.uk to find out more. Available now. Alright, and moving out of the flight simulation world, there's a very short trip into the flight simulation world this week. But moving on into other sort of transportation simulations, moving into the permanent way with Train Simulator had a few releases this week. So their first release this week was the Great Western Rail 1000 class County class train. So this is a beautiful old steam engine, which is a design that sort of dated back to sort of like the sort of like the start of the 20th century. That would actually sort of had its origins there and went through and actually came through. And these ones though sort of were the post-war era when they actually came out, sort of immediately post the Second World War, when there was still a drive and needing a lot of rebuilding needed to be done. A lot of services were sort of still being things were, a lot of infrastructure projects were still happening throughout the whole of the British Isles, and would actually require a lot more of rail power to actually be done. So yeah, these were very interesting, sort of very beautiful trains that actually have that sort of one of some of the last steam trains to actually go into service on British railways, and would actually serve on. And sadly, because of the fact that they were sort of rapidly sort of overtaken by diesel and electric locomotion units, they would actually only serve on until in 1964, when the last one would actually be retired. Sadly, none of them survived into preservation. However, there is an attempt to actually make a replica of one at the Didcot Railway Centre, so there you go. But this is designed as a rendition of several of the trains, including the original 1280 psi double chimney variant, the 250 psi double chimney variant, and a 280 psi single chimney variant. So you've got a whole slew of different variants actually. There's two other ones as well. There's a 250 psi double chimney variant and a 250 psi sheet steel chimney test variant as well. So you get a slew of different models, different variations with this one as well. So it's really very much a highly detailed add-on, and it does reflect the fact that this is one of the TS Pro series of trains. So again, you get a very highly detailed, customized 3D model of the train. You get optional sort of fittings, including safety covers, valves, etc. for the actual cab and for the rest of the train. Full realistic wheel slip physics and effects. Steam chest is being detailedly modeled as well. Train pipe, reservoir vacuum braking, and a whole slew of other features that I'm not going to get to because honestly, I don't understand. I really need to go back to Train Sim again, and because it is cool. But anyway, you also get some rolling stock here as well. You get the P18 Monster van and a P14 Python van as well in the Great Western Rail Brown. It was a horrible color it was. You also get a series of 5 career scenarios for this train as well. However, just a word of warning that it does require the Riviera line in the 50s add-on in order to be able to make use of those 5 scenarios. So otherwise, it is still fully compatible with Quick Drive and Steam Workshop scenarios. So there you go. As I said, this one is available now for $20 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. In the second release for the Train Simulator world this week, we saw them move over into China this week with a new route add-on. So this is the Longhai Railway, Lingbao to Manchai route add-on. Now this is a railway that actually sort of started being developed in 1905. And over the course of 50 years, would actually sort of go from being one of the just a simple idea to actually become one of the busiest routes in China, and serves as a very major industrial linkage to actually link the inland sort of industrial sectors to the coastal city of Lianyungang. I am certain I have messed that up, but there you go. To actually sort of bring to allow goods being manufactured in China to be sent to the coast and taken out, and then any goods arriving by sea to be actually brought back into those things as well, to be brought back to those manufacturing centers. So it also became it also then would serve on as well, because you'd end up being transporting freight as far as through a Eurasian rail bridge as well, sort of linked into other railway networks that moved across into Europe. So it became a very crucial sort of historical scene as well. It would later become one of the first electrified railway sections in China as well, and actually be part of the sort of Chinese experiments and sort of work with electric locomotives. And not only do this, and to reflect that, you also get 2 electric locomotive units with this one as well. You get the HXD1 and the HXD1C. So the D1 being the main one, the double electric engine, and then the D1C just a single electric engine. So this was a rendition of 106 kilometers of route from Lingbao to Manchi, with some beautiful Chinese scenery. Like the scenery in China just it looks like it's been modeled really, really well. It's one of those few places I've been to parts of southern China, but not to where this is actually sort of modeled. So, but it looks pretty good. Includes a whole slew of rolling stock and both passenger and freight rolling stock have been included as well. A fully realistic and customized modeled. Customized models, as well as a full realistic setup for the startup process for both trains has been included as well. This does include also 6 career scenarios are included for the attached trains to test your skills on how to actually to practice driving the locomotives, as well as delivering freight and passengers on time. So yeah, a reasonably pretty good looking category here, coming in at a pretty standard price for a sort of a scenery route add-on, coming in at $40 US, available now on Steam. In the third release from the train simulator world this week, we saw the release of the PRR X23 Boxcar Wagon pack. So this is a rendition of the X23 Boxcar of freight rolling stock that was built for Pennsylvania Railroad service back in 1911 to 1915. They produced nearly 7,000 of these things in that 4-year production run, and it was but it was actually done with a steel base frame, but with wood sheathing, so it would actually be very, very lightweight. But it's also with that sheer number would also mean that it would be able to be adapted into quite a few different versions and quite different varieties it would be changed into down the track. So although this one is primarily this depicts the actual main sort of box wagon rolling stock. This is a historical anecdote. Some of them were rebuilt into cabooses and also into passenger boxes as well. But a handful of them did survive into the 1960s and into preservation as well. So this is a very, as I said, these particular models are developed to just represent the freight carrying version. And it is sort of designed for the 1940s, 50s era. So this was full custom numbering, including high definition textures and custom detailed modeling has been included. Custom sound set has been included for the brakes and the wheels and the sort of ricketing as it goes down the railway. And some other trucks and eye candies been included as well. So yes, this one is available for $5 US, available now on Steam. And moving away from the permanent way, but sticking with the public transportation, we're moving to the world of the buses with the release of Bus Simulator 18. So this comes to us from Still Alive Studios and Astragon Entertainment, who have previously brought us the previous incarnation of Bus Simulator 16. So Bus Simulator 18 looks like it's come sort of built on the lessons of the previous iteration, and actually sort of come up with a lot more sort of it's a lot more open-ended experience, it looks like this time, allowing you to be a lot more customizing how you want to customize your actual routes and things like that. You get 8 buses included from 4 leading manufacturers, including Mercedes, MAN, Cetra, and Iveco. You've got a single-player offline mode, but also a real-time multiplayer mode where you can have drive around all 12 districts, nearly 6 square miles of routes that are available at the moment, or freely. You can either follow the routes or freely drive throughout the areas as you wish. I can see all sorts of interesting things happening in multiplayer doing that. But anyway, and you have a variety of modes to actually support for you as well, whether you want to do a simplified or realistic mode as well. Full modding support, which is always great to see. Authentic sound sets, bus controls, blah blah blah. What is interesting for me, probably the big update though, is the fact that it is now built on the Unreal 4 engine. So the graphic detail of the physics engine looks absolutely beautiful now. Definitely more than it sort of looked a bit clunky in 16. I know that, and was very much dated. But now that it's sort of using the Unreal 4 engine, really the Unreal engine has really just done amazing things for gaming. It really has, and it continues to do so now. And seeing this built into Unreal 4 engine makes me wonder what a flight sim would look like built into Unreal 4. But anyway, we may see that in the future. Anyway, but if you do pick this one up over for a launch window, so if you pick it up now before, I believe it's before the end of June, I believe that's what it is, you get an extra interior design, interior color scheme to lay out and to use on your buses if you so to choose. Normal price for this one is $35 US. We're currently on a launch special of $31.50 US, available now on Steam. sticking on the roads, we've got an interesting release. So this is Wreckfest. It, it, I don't know what else to say about this. I really don't. So this thing had been languishing in sort of early access greenlight hell for about, I think about 5 years. It was awful. It was horrendously bad. But it seems that somebody finally sort of decided to start throwing some developer assets and some money at it, and it actually looks like it's turned into something interesting. It brings me back to the days of like the original Grand Theft Auto, like the original sort of the original GTA, the original sort of Carmageddon stuff, like back in the day, but transported into sort of modern computing with the beautiful physics and 3D engines that we have now, and it's just the graphics look insane. The 3D looks like the 3D physics modeling looks pretty damn awesome. Basically, the premise is that it's a free-for-all, no-holds-barred kind of race. It's whoever's still standing at the end is the winner. So you'll basically go through, you smash into things, you sideswipe people, drive them into barriers, all sorts to survive. And it's, if I'm honest, I look at this and go, this is just an excuse for really sort of, for developers to actually sort of just go, you know what, we're just going to go have some fun with this and just see what the engine can do. Because it's as much about what the engine can do, like the 3D graphics and the physics engine can do, as it is to actually sort of, getting some rage out of the player's system. To that end, it also has some stuff. It's not just, zipping around in sort of beat up old cars. There's also the ability for you to ride on lawnmowers and giant sort of farm equipment and SUVs. So it definitely is not built in reality, but at the same time, it's pretty awesome and looks pretty, like, spectacular. Definitely will not be my cup of tea, but I look spectacular. From some of the video footage I'm seeing of some of the people who've already got a hold of it, is looking pretty amazing. As I said, and it's quite the tale of a game that's actually come from, the depths of developer hell back to something that's actually really quite amazing. So there you go. The only thing is, I think that the price might be a little steep, but there you go. So this was Wreckfest is available now on Steam for $45 or your original equivalent, available now. Alright, and rounding out the simulation release news, a interesting little title. This one sort of creeped up a little on me. I'd sort of vaguely heard about it, but was very dubious about it. But I am willing to be surprised. This is Jurassic World Evolution. Now, I feel like in some ways I'm being flashed back to the 90s here. I mean, we've got reboots of the Jurassic World, of the Jurassic Park series. We've now got a game. But I'm actually fairly impressed by what I've seen. Now, this comes to us now, mainly that comes to us because of who the developer is. So this comes to us from Frontier Developments. Now, Frontier Developments are the team behind Elite Dangerous and Planet Coaster. Now, they are some of the most arguably brilliantly executed and successful simulations of two very disparate genres that we've seen in quite some time. Planet Coaster was just really rewrote the sort of theme park genre, completely rebooted and rewrote it, and had massive success for it as well. And Elite Dangerous is just, quite frankly, I love it. I just wish I had more time to play it. I really do, because its combat and economic system is just outstanding. It really is. So to know that they're the team that are taking this on, it is intriguing for me. And the one thing is that the sort of description of the game is very, very light on detail, but it looks like they've gone into a series. You essentially sort of the reboot that we saw of Jurassic World a couple of years ago was sort of like the main sort of island. It sort of essentially takes and says that there's actually, and it's actually part of an archipelago of 5 islands, and you actually get to of 6 islands. You actually get to go and look at the other 5 islands and explore those as part of Jurassic World. And you take the reins of actually of building things. So in some ways it's sort of like the the theme park side of things. We're actually building a theme park, so leveraging on those things. But they're also going through with research. We're actually sort of mixing and splicing DNA to see what you come up with dinosaurs, and there are certain pathways you can go to in research and technology. So there's like a bit of a 4X strategy going on in there as well. There's also got a simulation where you can actually simulate. We're actually sort of going out and interacting with the dinosaurs as well, and simulating the dinosaurs and their actions and reactions to the world around them. That's some of the stuff that absolutely intrigues me. It really does. It's looking fascinating. Not sure if I'm going to play it myself, but I am intrigued by it. So yes, I'll be keeping an eye out for some of the Let's Plays that come around for this one to see what's going on. But very interesting. Like it's got to the detail now. We sort of, you're even sort of tasking, and you're looking at the shops that are there, the theme park attractions that are there, like who, what gets fed, and the type of dinosaurs you have. Like, it's just fascinating, like the real time as well, and the impact of weather and things like that as well. Like, that's, and day-night cycles, like fascinating. Anyway, so the Jurassic World Evolution is coming in at $55 US. Now, there is also a deluxe version, which is $60 US, and that includes an additional 5 different dinosaurs types that can be accessed through dig sites throughout the game. So yeah, this looks absolutely intriguing, like absolutely fascinating, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Frontier do with it. I think there you go. Well, on that interesting way of rounding out the simulation news for this week, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWrap24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.